Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am NIK NIKAM. In this presentation, we are going to look at how we can take this raw image from Nikon D750 using a kit lens 24 to 120 lens, and how we can change this with slight modifications into a picture like this. So let us begin with the portrait editing 101. The first thing we would like to do is go to the development module, and we come down all the way here, look for lens correction, and here's the lens correction, enable lens correction. I'm just going to click on Nikon, and automatically it's going to detect my Nikon 24 to 120 lens. So that's the first step. The second step is for the color balance. One of the biggest challenges I had while taking this picture was, if you look at the walls, they are almost like yellow. When we use a flash, the flash is reflected off the walls, which is going to reflect the yellow light, which is going to cast an yellow shadow on people's faces. It may not be this bad in this one, but there are other pictures which, let me see if I can find some of them, which makes it like here you see his face is all turning yellow because of this yellow backdrop. So let's get back to our picture we wanted to work on. Here's another one where everything looks kind of the same thing color as the walls. So that's a big challenge which I had to overcome, and we'll see how we can fix that one. Let's see, where was my picture? And since this is raw picture, we start off with the white balance. The temperature is 71-75. My flash has a 5600 kelvins, and the temperature at which it is recorded is 71-75. Because of these yellow walls, it tries to compensate in the opposite direction. As a result, the Kelvin values go up. So the first thing we want to do is bring the Kelvin values down to what is reasonable, and you can already begin to see a dramatic change when I drop it to 5600, which is the flash Kelvin value. If you come all the way here, now it turns into blue. So you just come until it is able to maintain some skin saturation, and there it is, 5600, 5500, which is pretty reasonable, I would say. And if you want, you can try some other numbers like here. This may be just too washed out, if you think, and that can also be fixed with certain changes. So let us bring it up. Okay, so let's leave it here at like let's 5000. So we have the warm pink skin texture, but it is not washed out. There is no blue discoloration. So that's the thing. It also, the exposure is already fine here, so I don't usually cut off these things, but there's a way to fix that, and that is we go to the scale module, and here's the scale module, and here we just bring it down 95. It gives a little border. Now the picture is highlighted, so that's the next thing. And let's go down the line here. Then, do I need to increase the exposure? We can just see if we need to increase the exposure. No, I don't think the exposure is perfectly fine. If you want to increase the contrast, I don't like, if you increase the contrast, everything looks kind of like a wax model. So, and if you bring it down, it's not, so that there's really nothing I need to do with the contrast. And the highlights are the ones like all this flashy stuff, which we can bring down the highlights a little bit. Just a tag, bring the highlights down, and the shadows will darken the dress. Whites, we can bring down the whites, should make it a little bit better. Then we want to smoothen the skin here. As you can see all these veins. So we can smoothen the skin by bringing the texture down a little bit, like 20, clarity like 20. Now we got a little smoother skin. All right, and we come down here, and this is where I think that if we increase the vibrance, it increases the saturation in the skin over the face. And same thing happens with saturation, but this is going to turn into pink, so that's not too much. I will just touch up the vibrance a little bit up, and here's before and this is afterwards, and we keep going down here, and we can play with these wheels, but I don't think we really need to do. And let's say I want to change this yellow dress. This yellow dress is here yellow. I can change the color of the yellow dress so it is not so overpowering, or I can increase it, so I can just kind of drop it down. So in that way, or we can selectively use this area. Let me show you a mask you can use. Brush, and just say we use a brush here, and just bring down the exposure ever so slightly, so you won't even notice. Anyway, so that's by using the mask. And so as you can see, I can cut down the same thing I can do here with the same mask. I can almost that's perfect. So we cut it with the mask, so now the picture is focused on that.